We've just moved into our kitchen here in our new house, and our kitchen needs revamping. We have no money left, so we're going to have a do-it-home job. We're going to get some paint and we're going to replace the handles, and off we go. So if you'd just like to pan round, have a look at our lovely new kitchen. First of all, I'm going to very lightly sand this one down. It won't make any difference to the actual adhesion of the paint, but I want to sand it down and make sure there's no nasty marks on their fingerprints, any grease, because the paint won't stick to it very well. So I'm just going to very lightly sand this down in a very, very fine sandpaper. Don't have one that's too coarse like this, otherwise you'll take the front off and you'll end up with all rivets. We have this wooden trim here, which we're going to sand a bit more because we want the paint to stick to it. But as you see, we have these absolutely wonderful handles here that we really do not like. So we've been to a local B&Q, or maybe we shouldn't be advertising, and we bought some handles that are going to revamp and look very nice. And when we remove these handles, there's going to be two holes. We're going to need to fill in with some polyfiller the holes and make sure it's nice and flat. But we'll show you that as we go along. Okay. The paint we've chosen is a nice vinyl silk, and I've gone for the silk because we're going to have to stop because the room is going. Go. Okay, now we're going to paint it this lovely timeless colour, nice cream, because then we can have any coordinating parts we want in here, any pots and pans and bits and pieces. We've gone for a vinyl silk because it's got a nice finish. We'll be able to wipe it down afterwards. If you really want to, you could put a varnish over the top of everything at the end, because that would obviously harden it more to any fats and spray. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've gone to the local. Okay, now then, this is the other side of the handles. As you can see, I've opened the door. I want to get rid of those handles, so I'm going to unscrew them. Okay, and then when I've unscrewed them, we need to fill in the hole. Okay, so now here, as I've said just now, there's the handles. We're going to unscrew these handles. Just get a posi screwdriver, pop it in there, and unscrew these. Okay, so we've taken these off. You get these. We're back again now, aren't we? Right, go. It's fine. Okay. So now, when you've taken these out, you've got these that come through here. These are your bolts, and then you raise up and decide if you want to use the holes. You might want to make new ones, but we're going to use one of the holes that we already have, and we're going to polyfill this one in. Alright, so we just bought some multi-purpose filler for wood. Just wood. Got some out here. Just push it into the hole that side. Push it into the hole this side. If this doesn't work, you can get little plastic caps to cover, but there's no reason why this shouldn't work. And when you've got it established, you can leave it, and then we can lightly sand it later on. Okay, and again, I've got a good quality paintbrush, and I've got my paint. 2.5 litres should do this kitchen, but I've got 2 just in case. For some mad reason they run out. And now I'm going to make a start on the kitchen. It's all prepared, ready. It's all sanded down, the holes are filled, and I'm now going to start painting. Yep. Okay, now all I'm doing now is just going to paint this up and down. It will need 2, 3, maybe 4 coats of paint, depending on what your base is. Ours is cream, so it's a pretty good base. I'm not going to paint the insides of the door. I know when you open them up you can see that they're not painted, but I'm not interested in that. I want to have a nice kitchen that looks nice as I come in. Kitchen cupboards are clean inside, no worries there. This has now just had 1 coat of paint. It will need a further 2, but this is giving you an effect of the finish and how much nicer that looks than that awful mucky wood. Now often when we paint we end up with all these brush strokes, and the important way of doing this is to start at the top and work your way down. Try and tease out all those brush marks. There's a slight difference by looking at the top. I'll show you how I did that. So we've ended up with big clumps of paint here which will show through. You won't get a nice even finish, so it's really important to tease it all out and run it down and get rid of those marks there. It's begun to dry a little bit, so it's going to need 2 or 3 coats of paint anyway, so it's not the end of the world, but try hard to tease these out. Now what's happened here, the cupboard door is hanging off, and I've gone to have a look and there aren't any screws in this hinge, so I'm going to have to put some wood filler in it, let it set off, and then I can rescrew the hinge back on. So what I've done, I've got a smooth finish wood filler, quick drying. I've squeezed some into a plastic cap that came with the handles for the cupboards, and I'm just going to push this in, but you have to push it right into the chipboard because it's blown, as you can see. Touch it and it's falling away. Probably going to need to scrape that off and keep building it up. Let it dry a little bit, build it up, and then that'll be nice and firm to put 2 new screws in. Okay, we've now got 2 coats of paint on. We were able to do this in one afternoon. The first coat dried very quickly. Call it a night now. I'm going to go and walk the dog and come back tomorrow and put another coat on. Okay, and now we have our completed kitchen. We have our knobs back on, our handles back on, and we're very, very pleased with it. We've lined the doors up. I'll show you how to do that in the next video. And there's the bottom cupboard.